It's the Scott and Steve Show on Lakeland's Lake Effect Radio. Scott and Steve. Scott and Steve.
Hey, good morning, everyone. It is another Scott and Steve show. Everyone seems to be doing well. We're with Jeremiah today, minus Steve at the moment, but I do know he's on his way. At least that's the last report.
I don't know. Wait, who was that guy that does this show with you? Was that Jeff?
The infamous Steve. Yeah, he'll
Was it
he's
Pat?
gonna rock it. He's gonna rock it when he gets
Was it
in
Pat? Antonio? Wait, who was that?
Well, he's a Michigan fan. We know that. And so I would envision that he's probably pretty happy right now, right? Because the NCAA tournament's going on, so they're still in it.
Oh, that's right, they are.
Yeah, so he's got to be somewhat happy there. In fact, they got a really good draw in that tournament as opposed to Michigan State and Duke and that kind of thing. So, yeah, we could get into that when he gets here, but I know that they got a pretty decent draw. And there was some people that were upset about that. They felt that Michigan State was actually the better basketball team. However, they got put in with Duke, I believe, in their bracket, or their portion of the bracket. And then Michigan, who was the not as highly ranked team, got put in with the weakest of the four seeds with Gonzaga's bracket. So I know there's a lot of people that are getting a little uptight about that. But, hey, good stuff.
Me, I just go, get the bracket and then start filling it out. Right now, I haven't lost one.
You haven't lost one. Well, a lot of the big teams have won. The predictions have won, so there hasn't been too many upsets, which is good. I'll be honest with you, I did not fill out a complete bracket as of yet. As of yet, it's too late to fill out a complete bracket.
Yeah.
But I have not. I was on the road last week, and I just didn't do it. Didn't get at it.
Except within recent years, I always do it really prior. I was filling it out like an hour before the starts.
That's probably why you're doing so well. Whenever you put a lot of time and thought into it, it's not a good thing. But yeah, a lot of upsets there's not many upsets so far this year. So it's been pretty true to form. So, does that mean that the people who evaluate them did a really good job? I would say there's a little bit of luck involved there.
Yeah.
But
yeah. It's a two-way street.
Absolutely. And getting into that is there's many schools that get upset with it. As you've got some teams that are higher ranked that get into the tournament. Do not get into the tournament. Because of all the automatic bids, of some of the conferences and stuff. So some of those other schools, get upset that some of the perceived lower level conferences get the automatic bids in, and so they get bumped out from that perspective. That's an age-old argument, that goes in. Is it something that the schools should have an opportunity? Should there be the automatic bid? Should they have the opportunity to get in, and then versus the perception of a stronger program? So what do you think, man? Is that good, bad, indifferent?
Yeah, it's the thing of you sort of want to see, a few of the good teams make it in, but then in a way you want to sort of, especially because, like Cleveland State, that's what, three or 2 years ago that made it in
a couple years ago, yeah, right.
Pure luck, knocked some people out and all that.
Mm-hmm.
That's what March Madness is.
Yeah, and that's it. And so then, of course, people get in, well, is there a true national champion then? They get into that. And you know what? Honestly, I think that you can say it's a national championship only because, you got 68 teams that actually qualify, and your top ranked teams are getting in. So it's not that, but so I can see that
some of them go down wherever they go down.
Exactly right. So when you get to teams that are ranked in the 20s and 30s that are getting bumped over by some of the lower levels schools, perceived lower level schools, I don't have a problem with that. Honestly, if you're ranked 20th or 30th, whatever it is, are you really going to win the tournament anyway? Chances are probably not. So you know what? It gives an opportunity for some of those other schools who don't get seen, and if they can get one upset, that makes their season. That makes their season. That makes and for some of them that makes their whole college career. Remember when we had that big win, And I don't have a problem with that. It gives them an option, gives them an opportunity. We're not talking about, again, how many number 16 teams have won the whole thing? None. You know, so I
No.
mean, what are we really arguing about?
Some
here?
of them come out of nowhere and go pretty darn deep, though.
Exactly right. And you know what? What a great opportunity and a great story. And I think that's what it's about. You know, it's you're still getting your champ because there's enough teams involved. However, it gives the opportunity to the little guy, and I think that's a really positive thing, personally. But,
True.
You know, yeah. So you know, March Madness going on. So you said you completed your bracket. Who do you have to win it all? Do you remember?
Not off the top of my head.
Well, if you're picking it, it's got to be probably Duke or North Carolina if you want
No.
to away. No. Oh, my gosh. Who'd you
Duke I
pick?
have going down this round.
Do you remember who? They almost got beat last week.
I know.
They should have got beat last week.
Well, like Duke, a good chunk of times in recent year, they either go out the second or third round. So
right. They got
This
Tech.
one I
They got
had
Virginia
third.
Tech coming up, don't they?
I think.
Go Hokies, baby! I did get back. I got back Sunday night, and I got to see a little bit of the Hokies game, so that was good stuff. But Virginia Tech is small, though. They're very small inside. They got to defend well, and they got to shoot the ball well from the outside. If they do that, they'll be competitive.
But this is money time, so you know they're going
Right.
to step it up.
You hope so. You hope so. But you know,
Plus, I just want to see Duke go down anyway.
you're not a Zion Williamson fan, then, huh?
I haven't been a Duke fan in like
Okay. For a long time.
10 years.
Were you a fan back in the Christian Laettner, Bobby Hurley days?
No.
Is that before your time?
Never been a fan at
Okay.
all.
All right.
It all went back to high school. One guy, they always bragged about him and that. Then they started, you know, he kept
Right.
dropping second, third round, and I started making fun of him about it.
Well, they got
Ever
three
since
guys.
that.
They got three freshmen this year who will probably be top 10. I would say is almost a guarantee, but they possibly top 6 coming off that team this year, and you know that whole aspect there is another thing, whether or not it's good for basketball, whether it's good for college sports, that kind of thing. We can get into that here in a little bit. But, yeah, tournament time, March Madness, got to like the idea. Personally, I like the idea of playing and giving the opportunity for the underdog or for the lesser-known teams to get out there and get there, because it comes down to travel. You know, I mean, who they travel, who they play. You know, they're located where they're located. You know, they play a conference schedule based primarily on geographics, you know.
Yeah.
And so from that, you know, give them a chance. You never know. You just never know. So, yeah, a lot of fun.
It's true.
A lot of fun time. So Thursday, everyone root for the Hokies. That'd be my suggestion. Root for the Hokies this Thursday or Friday. I'm not sure even what day they play. But give them a shot and see what happens. So
Like me, I was surprised to see Ohio State go as far as they did.
yeah, they're still in, right?
I thought they lost. Let's
I know
see.
they won. I believe they won the first game, and I thought they won game 2, but I could be wrong. Again, I did not follow it this past week. As I had the opportunity to go down to Harrison, Arkansas, and I was at the women's Division II Nationals, and was watching that all week, and that's pretty much what I did. I had 26 games in 5 days, so it's a lot of basketball. Got home.
Literally.
Yeah, I got home Sunday night, like I said, and my wife wanted to watch the Hokies play, and she asked me if I wanted to watch it. I'm like, I'm not sure, but so I kind of went in and out of the game a little bit. Pulling up the trusty bracket here. What do we got?
Let's see. Duke. You have Virginia Tech.
What day? What day?
Hold on. Friday.
All right, Friday. All right, Friday. Go Hokies Friday.
Friday at 9:40.
At night? It's
Yep.
got to be at night. Yeah. Okay.
Let's see. Where did Ohio State? What region were they? See, that's a bad thing. I don't watch college basketball,
Right.
so I don't. This is the only time I care about it. I just go and randomly pick teams and that just for kicks and giggles.
Well, you're not the only one that does that. Trust me. There's a lot of people that do that very same thing.
Why don't I see them? Wait, that's
Yeah, maybe they're in the end.
all deeper.
Yeah, they went.
I forgot it's a bigger bracket than that.
Right. So where are they at?
Yeah, they went here against Houston.
Okay. So they're still playing.
No, they lost to
Oh,
Houston.
they lost to Houston. Okay. All right. Very good. So Houston has who coming up?
Kentucky.
Kentucky will roll.
Yeah.
Let's pick them. All right. I mean, Kentucky. I got Kentucky rolling over Houston. Kentucky's a pretty good team from my perspective. Who else we
Oh
got?
yeah, because Houston, I can name within the past 2 years of them being in the rodeo. So
Yeah. Who else we got?
Michigan,
Michigan and who?
Tech.
Texas Tech.
Yep.
Michigan. I think I got Michigan over Texas Tech.
I think on my bracket I have Tech.
That's just because you hate Michigan.
Yeah. How did you know?
All right. Who else you got?
Okay, Florida State, Gonzaga.
I am a Gonzaga fan personally. I would love to see them go all the way. And you know what I like about Gonzaga is they have kids who actually stay in school for 3-4 years. So go Gonzaga. I'm a Bulldog fan there.
Yeah, that wouldn't be a shocker. North Carolina, Auburn.
North Carolina's going to roll over Auburn. Won't even be close.
Yeah, especially because they just are always there. Okay, LSU and Michigan
Michigan State.
Yeah,
Michigan State. Michigan State, I think, is the better team. I think Michigan State will make it until they face off with who's in their bracket, who's in the 1 seed, Duke.
yeah.
I'd love to see the Hokies upset them, but man, that would be a tall order.
I don't think.
You don't
I think one thing, the curse of Duke will come out and they'll drop.
Hey, don't get me wrong. I hope Buzz Williams can lead the Hokies to victory, and
This is
I'll even pick the Hokies. But that's a tall order, man. Duke's pretty good. That's a tall order, but they can be beat. That's why they play them. They can be beat, but that's going to be tough.
I have a feeling. I think the Duke curse will play.
I hope so. I hope so.
Into the ball.
All right.
Then let's see, Virginia, Oregon.
Virginia's not a bad team. I would pick Virginia out of the ACC. They've had a nice year overall.
Purdue, Tennessee.
Coin flip.
I think Tennessee.
Think so? For me, it's a flip. Just to go opposite, I'll take Purdue, the Boilermakers. The Big Ten, I'm not really wild about. They haven't done much recently. To me, that's a coin flip game. It could go either way. But I think they'll both will go down to whoever they play next anyway. So we'll give them that opportunity. So that's fine. Go Vols, go Boilermakers. It doesn't matter to me. We'll give it to you from there. So, all right.
I gotcha. Yeah. 'Cause, yeah, that's right. I did have Liberty. I gotta take a picture. I forgot to take a picture on my phone of my bracket.
Yeah,
Save it at home.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see who you got coming up next. There's only a few perfect brackets that are ever picked a year. You know what I mean? And if you do it through ESPN or what have you, at that early thing, you can win some mega cash.
I just sit there and piece of paper do it in that.
Right.
Like, what was it? Florida State, Ohio State that year had it always perfect until that final game.
Huh. I have never come close to getting it perfect. I don't pick the upsets well. Usually there's a 5-12 upset somewhere in there, and some. I try to pick one a year when I do that. But again, this year I wasn't as active with it, so we'll see how it goes.
I should do that next year. Do it ESPN just for kicks and giggles.
Yeah, I mean, what the heck? You got nothing to lose. Get in there and you could win a lot, from what I understand. So,
yeah, boredom. I should try and take that luck and go there, especially being in the United Way thing with Patty.
Okay, all right. What is that about?
The squares.
Oh yeah.
She didn't want to spend all the money, so I went in half.
Okay, yeah. You know what is I'm in that, and I have not looked at my things, so I don't even know. I could have won and not know it. You know what I mean? I have no idea because I haven't even looked. Yeah. So that's
I haven't.
More than likely, I'm just donating my funds. That's usually what I do in those kind of things. I just give the money, like, it's gone. But I'd love it to win, and we'll see.
Stay tuned for that episode.
If I do, I'll buy you a lunch. If I can win enough money, I'll buy you a lunch down in Breakers or something. There you go. Breakers on the run, or no, not on the run. Just Breakers in general. Good food, good place, good times. Gotta love it. So
I like how you're going to go promote your own thing.
yeah, I forgot they don't have it going on. But
Yeah, basketball season's sort of over just a little.
That's right. It is over. They had a great year, both men and women's basketball for the Lakers. The women, lost in the district finals. They were a game away from the national tournament. So that's really a outstanding finish. The men made it to nationals, and they went 1-2 out there. They lost a 1-point game to Johnson County Community College, who wound up playing in the finals. And they lost to John Wood, I believe, by like 8 or 10, somewhere in that neighborhood. So they lost to John Wood, and John Wood was top 6 finisher. So I mean, we competed and did very well out there. Didn't win obviously the whole thing, but did get a win. So good for them. The men and women both had a very good season, a lot of success, and that's awesome. From that, we're hoping that our kids move on, have the opportunity to move on to 4-year. We're looking forward to next year as we think we have a lot of kids returning that'll help us play both on the men and women's side. And we're optimistic that next year will be another good season for both teams. So it should be good. I'm really excited about that. Yeah.
I know I was seeing they're posting off of Twitter and that.
Didn't see my posting off Twitter.
Yeah, because you don't have it.
That's right. You saw Mr. Gordon putting some stuff out on behalf of the Lakeland Athletics, but no, you don't see me on Twitter or Facebook or any of that stuff. No, thank you.
Come on, you have a smartphone.
I do have a smartphone. However, the desire to get into social media is just not there. You know what? I don't want to look more at a computer, more at a phone than what I do now. I look at it too much as it is. I prefer to get outside and enjoy life. So that'd be my advice to other people. Get off your electronics, go out and do something, enjoy life.
But the only reason I stumbled across that, just, I logged in and then it was there. It's like, okay, then share.
Right. Well, that's awesome. And again, it's a good thing. There is a place for it, for sure. And that tournament like that, I think, is a good place for it. That's awesome. They again, and it gets out a lot of good news about some teams and stuff. So that's great. Though I do think it's funny, talking about social media and stuff. I just read an article this morning where there's a football coach who's now a professional coach. I want to say I can't remember what team he's with. Anyway, he knew this year, came out of the college ranks, and he has decided that during his team meetings, that every 20 to 30 minutes he's going to take a break and allow his players to go get on social media and the phone, because he doesn't think that his players can concentrate more than 20 minutes on whatever topic they happen to be having on that day. And so he thinks they need to have that break to get on their social media every 20 to 30 minutes throughout the day, which is interesting from my perspective. Can you imagine being at work and saying to your boss or as a person request, hey, I need a break. Every 20 to 30 minutes, I need a break to get on social media. I got to know what's going on. I've got to see it. I've got to do that. I can't fathom that. And maybe that's just me getting old. I just think that it's ridiculous, though. Come on, people.
Like the best example I'll say, when I go on in that, if you're not in that first page, sometimes, I sort of scroll, but more when you log into Facebook, if you're not in that, in the, when you log in the screen, not going to see it. Flat out.
Well, that's it. And
I don't have the ambition to look and see, every single person, every single page, what's going on, and I don't have that ambition.
I find it sad, actually, that there's a perception or a perceived need to be on social media, on your phone, whatever medium you want to use, that regularly throughout a day. That's, to me, is just, it's a sad state of society if that's indeed. I almost wonder if we make it too much of a perception. Oh, they got to have a struggle, and oh my gosh, so we'll just give in and allow them and encourage them, in fact, to do that. I think that it's people have the capacity, have the ability to go longer than that without it, and actually go without it. I think that it's kind of like cliche, you know, like today you walk around and what do people say all the time? I'm stressed. And I'm not saying there isn't stressful things going on in life, but it's on the same aspect. Come on, people, you know, get on with it. You can deal with this. You can handle this. You got to just buck up a little bit and let's go, you know, pull yourself up and get to it.
Wait, they have to be adults?
Go figure. And it just drives me
They have to use common
crazy
sense?
sometimes. It's nuts. Hey, Tom Kirchner, come on in, sir. We need to talk to you about something. As he walks by, I don't know if he'll be in or not, but hopefully he comes back. But
We'll stay tuned for that episode.
yeah, but it's just I don't. Again, maybe it's just me being past the prime, if you will. I just don't get it. I think that I think we're coddling people. They need to be able to move forward, get stuff done. If you need that kind of break, come on, folks. Let's get on it. Do the work, get it done. You know, work hard. You know, sweat. You can actually get dirty. You can actually sweat. You can do these things, and it's just sad of the commentary, in my view, that that's the direction that we're going. And when I see stuff like that, I just shake my head. It's like, come on, you know, I don't get it from that aspect.
That's like over the summer. It could be like 3-4 days in between when I go on and that. A huge time why I'm on a little daily or a little more than that is posting stuff from this.
Right. I tell you what a great thing is my daughter actually went to a program probably about a month ago through school where they were gone for, you know, like 3 or 4 days, and phones were not allowed. They literally collected them, and so for 3 or 4 days they did not have access to their phones at all. I mean, at night, morning, whatever. And interestingly, as you listen to people, because they come back, all the students who were there, you know, kind of spoke about the program and everything, almost to a T. Almost every single one of them said, you know what, being away from the phone, we didn't realize it. It was awesome. It was great. It was a good thing to not to have to be on that all the time, and it was actually a really positive, and they enjoyed it. And guess what they did? They spoke to each other. They talked as a result.
They didn't text one another across the room?
Can you imagine? They actually had communication, and they said that was one of the most valuable things of it. You know, now when they come back, do they go back in their old habits, you know, or whatnot? My guess is it's only 3 or 4 days. They're gonna, maybe for a little while they might not, but in general, they'll eventually drift back because, you know, it wasn't done long enough to get it. You know what I mean? Maybe
to reinforce it.
Right. Maybe one or two of them down the road say, you know what, I remember that was good, and maybe they'll take a weekend and not have it or what have you. But just the communication that it required, you know, the kids had to speak to each other. They had to talk to the, in those obviously programs and events that went on, which required or encouraged, you know, interaction. But you're with people that, frankly, you know by name, but you don't know them, you know, and you got to know them.
The all in depth. Yeah,
right, and so what a great thing, you know. Holy cow! I would love to see that with our organization here at some point. You know, is get to know people on another level, talk to them, see what makes them tick. You know, get off the darn phones, get off that, and go see people and communicate. Can you imagine if we actually talked to each other? What a wild world this would be.
Really? They did those things?
They did. Back when I was a kid, they did. They don't do that anymore.
I know.
But when I was a kid, yeah, we used to have to do that. And if you didn't, guess what? You got beat. But corporal punishment was okay back then. You know, if you got in trouble, if you got in trouble in school, guess what? Your school would rip you. They might even slap you to the side of the head. And guess what? When you got home, you got beat again because you got in trouble in school. So you got it twice. You know, it's different world. You know, the question wasn't, what did the teacher do wrong to you? The question was, what did you do wrong, and then you will be ripped for it. Totally different mindset.
I remember those days.
See, you're not too old then. You're not too young. Different mindset nowadays for a lot of people.
Well, that's like DIY in East. Like when that was closing down, we went and bought like boards and that to, you know, use for whatever random projects and that, and we're sitting there carrying them, you know, on the side of a bike and that, driving or riding home and that. Yeah, you don't see that nowadays.
No. That would be effort. That would be work. So.
Except the one cop that stopped us the one time.
Thought you took him, huh?
No. He said, "What are you guys doing?"
There you go.
And then it's like, well, we bought him and now we're trying to get it home. The bad thing is he stopped us at the top of our street. Then he says, well, just throw it in the back seat.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah,
so
nowadays.
He helps you out.
Yeah, nowadays, you wouldn't see that
No.
precisely.
No, it's definitely different from that perspective for sure. So, well, that's the society today we live in. So we gotta adapt and move on, and go from there. A lot of positives with the technology and stuff, but in general, I think there's a lot of negatives as well. So, yeah.
It's true.
All right, so let's talk a little football here. We got some good things happening. I know that the Browns continue to add to their roster. They picked up the big receiver there, O.J. Beckham, for the Giants. Gave up Mr. Peppers, right? Gave up Peppers and a couple.
Oh, darn.
A couple draft picks, if you will.
One less Michigan fan in Northeast Ohio.
Yeah.
But technically, we sort of are one less anyway, so.
There you go. Speaking of which, he hasn't made it in yet.
I know. That was amazing 10 minutes.
Yeah, well,
Maybe he meant 10 hours.
He's a busy guy, Steve. I'm sure you're working hard there, and we'll respect that because you definitely have the. Oh, here we go. Yeah, it's going to be a little while with that for sure. But Steve does a good job with that, so we wish him well in his job, and hopefully he's not anything crazy today.
Ish. We'll never, know. Especially after the replacement wager that me and him did.
See, now, that's not something I was fully aware of. When I saw the emails going back and forth, but I wasn't catching what that. I missed the replacement wager. So why don't you share what's going on with that if you could?
Oh, that for the President's Coffee said he would wear that good old scarlet and gray.
For the President's Coffee?
Yeah,
Okay.
I didn't realize that was Monday. Thank God for someone that told me.
Okay, all right. So obviously he didn't wear it, is what you're saying?
Yeah, from the other person that told me.
Okay, all right. So what happens if he did not wear it? What was the
He has to buy a
consequence?
pizza.
He's got to buy you pizza?
Yeah, not including still wearing it.
Nice.
It just double goes.
Right. Awesome. All right. So when are you getting your pizza?
You tell me.
Wait a minute. He's not going to pull Kyle on us, is he?
Well, it's already one person says he needs to wear it for one reason.
And that reason
Because he's mooching.
He
He knows this person. I'm not going to say who it is.
Okay.
You like how I just insert source? I did leave that, put that one in that someone says he's mooching off of it.
I can't imagine that. I can't imagine he'll pull Kyle. I'm sure Steve's good for his word, and he'll come through. I have faith in him as a partner of this show.
How many months ago was this?
Yeah, I know. He's got
Four
he's gotta get
scores
to
and
that.
Betty.
But I do have faith that he'll get it done. He won't leave you hanging from that aspect. So yeah, good for him. So Brownies, they picked up the receiver there, O.J. Beckham there. What do you think, man? Browns, how are they going to be this year? All the prognosticators say have them winning the division and going deep into the playoffs. Possible Super Bowl
Winning
contenders.
the division, possible. Maybe getting into the first round, second round of playoffs.
Yeah.
The huge thing is, even with free agency in that, still third QB. With still one D-line, linebacker, corner situation, then safety.
Mm-hmm.
Those
Just
are
got
their
rid of
issues.
Peppers, man. Aren't you concerned about that?
Yeah.
No, I think.
Well, the other guy or the other dude that they have across from him is not that good either.
Right. I think that the Browns will be very competitive again this year. My concern, and I hate to be the naysayers, I was the one that's been pumping them for the last few years, so I hate to be the naysayer, but I'm concerned of a whole new coaching staff. You're bringing out a bunch of people, and a whole new staff across the board. That usually does not bode well for success in year one. So we see Steve Gagliardi walking by. We're hoping he's stopping in. So, but usually that doesn't bode well in year one. So I'm actually stepping away from all the people who are saying that they're going to be awesome, and I'm thinking I'm saying 8-8, man, maybe 9-7,
Yeah.
but 8-8 I think is where they're going to be.
But the huge thing still yet, they got 8 pieces or that they got to go and plug in.
Right.
Safety, pick up a corner linebacker, D lineman, backup QB. And the other thing is it depends with running backs still yet with what they do.
Kareem Hunt, baby, game 8.
Well, the other thing is they're saying that they're trading Duke, so, they trade him. He's gone.
Well, they got Chubb, though.
Well, no, if Chubb, something happens to him, Kareem's suspended. If you trade Duke, you're sort of screwed.
Then you're just banking on your QB to Baker to win it all, baby. And now he's got receivers. You're looking at your defense possibly doing something. I don't know. They're not going to be bad, I think. But I'm only because of the coaching changes. I'm looking at 8 wins, man. 9 is an absolute max for them. So I'm not jumping on the bandwagon.
Still, I want to see what they do. That's what.
Good for the Browns.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good for their scouting. Good for their management. I'm going to say it like I've said it to everybody else. If I had a nickel for every time Browns fans thought that a new playmaker coming to Cleveland was going to light up the field, I'd be a rich man.
So
We'll let it play out.
prediction?
I'm not knocking it. I think it's a solid lineup. I really do.
Okay.
And I hope they've made the turnaround third for another euphemism. But let's keep ourselves on planet Earth here and not get too high up in the atmosphere.
Well, like I
and
said,
see how it goes.
I'm saying 8-8, maybe 9-7.
I've heard people say 10 and up.
I have as well.
I think 8-8 would be a good solid year for them.
Yep.
I mean, that's a good solid year for any organization, tell you the truth.
Right.
As long as you're 500.
I could see only 9. The only thing is it still goes to one thing. They're at least 9-10 pieces away still yet. They can't get all of them
Here's
in
the
the draft.
problem, though, and this is the problem with any team, any sport. You're 9-10 pieces away. You're always going to be 9 to 10 pieces away.
Right.
It lies in the magic of what you have on the field coming together.
Right.
I mean, 9 to 10 pieces away, that's 2 to 3 years of draft picks and other people exit and coming and going. You're never going to have a solid team. If I could pay homage to the Super Bowl champs,
Go Pats, baby.
they make that work.
Yep.
I don't know if they ever have a solid
Well, let's be honest,
wish list team.
Let's be honest, coming in, the offensive line, defensive line, every thought was a shambles.
Right.
And it came together somehow.
Exactly.
to that
At the
point,
beginning of
you
the
know?
last year's season, you would have
Right.
never expected the Pats like, oh my goodness, what's going on?
Right. Right.
This is not the same here. But anyway, they make it work. They make stars. These are guys who are already in the league. Sometimes, whether it's Josh Gordon's ordeal, he comes into the organization, or Julian Edelman. I mean, who heard of Julian Edelman other than people in Kent
Kent State
before he went to the Patriots?
Right.
Rex, same thing with Rex. Yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
The other wide receiver that was one of Brady's favorites because, Brady will highlight the underdog when they're double covering everybody else.
Right. Right.
But whatever. I mean, that's any team. Any team needs to deal with what they have on the field. Does the Browns lineup, does their roster book look fantastic? Heck yeah.
Yeah, it does.
Looks
strong.
Outstanding.
Yep.
Like who are like Major League, who are these guys?
It's sort of strong. They're still the 9-10 pieces that actually could be,
All right,
in my book, to say strong.
I would agree with you that there are pieces away, but let me ask you this. Name a team that's closer to having a complete lineup than them in the conference. Let's start there. I mean,
in the North? Not many.
Well, that's my point. Is
Pittsburgh,
so,
maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
But they're already going through personnel issues.
Right. And so that's what I'm saying. So I mean, theoretically, if you're just looking on paper, Browns are there.
Right.
Browns are there.
on paper, honestly, on paper, the Browns should be in the AFC Championship game. Not saying they should win it
Right.
or go to the Super Bowl, but they should make it to the AFC Championship game.
And honestly, some people are picking them to do that. You know, and
I understand
I'm not
why.
there yet.
I understand
I'm not-
why.
Oh, for sure.
And but these are sports analysts
right.
that know what they're doing. In theory, okay, because everything the biggest problem is the I word.
Right.
Injury. You know, we're taking statistics and lineups and performance, so on and so forth, into consideration. But what happens with Cleveland fans, and I used to be part of it. Don't get me wrong. I used to feel the fever about this time of year, especially draft day.
Right.
And you know, just keep yourself grounded. You know, expect good play out of them, but I wouldn't expect greatness just yet.
Right.
Because you do have personalities coming. Beckham Jr., outstanding. You know, he was in New York. He's coming, bringing his talents to,
But the
to the great
personality.
to the North Shore.
Yeah. North Shore.
But personalities, exactly. I mean, we saw this with the Cavs. You know,
Oh yeah.
so
But
how
he-
management and the team respond to some of these big names now. I mean, Baker Mayfield, you know, very good quarterback. He's obviously earned the leadership quality of the team, especially last year. I mean,
Right.
he's got the city behind him
Yep.
like no other quarterback has had probably since Bernie.
Right.
But now you have another personality, and it appears they get along great.
Well, right now.
But so did LeBron and Kyrie, you know, and some of the other personalities. So
But
it's
you
just
know-
tough. It comes down to actually management and personnel.
But then
How
you
they- how
have
they- how they
sort
manage.
of
Thus
Beckman
coaching.
going.
Yep.
You know, I have Beckman going under. You know, out of the social media light right now. You never know that might have been that awakening that sort of will chill him out, ish.
Well,
His personality.
social media
his personality's not gonna
has never
change.
been a friend for any athlete, I don't think.
No.
And I think they need to.
It might put him in perspective just a little. It might not lessen it completely.
Y-
But
you're thinking with an actual layman's mindset, which is fine, which is good, but you have to understand the ego. You know,
Oh, I know.
The
I understand the
psychological
ego.
diagnoses of ego, and to them, it's all about them and you know their followers and what they're thinking during halftime or on the bench. You know, so.
yeah, that episode, that's not going to be a complete 100% roll till,
Yeah.
you know, months down the road.
Right. I don't know.
I still think they're at least a year or two away.
Mm-hmm.
And God help them if they get off to a tough start, because people will be calling for Kitchen's head,
Oh, I
Well,
know.
not just his. I mean,
and the staff. I mean, and that's, we can't go down that road, man. You cannot
Yeah.
go down that road again, in my mind.
but that's a biennial experience in
Exactly
Cleveland.
right. Exactly.
Fans
right.
don't like it,
Right.
and unfortunately, sometimes you can't play to the fans. But Cleveland organization has always played to the fan.
It's true.
They have to stick to their guns, stick to
Right.
the plan. It should wash out in that 1 to 2 years.
Right. Right.
It's
But-
really true that, you know, they're either, you know, we draft this QB, oh, he's going to be the savior.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just he has crappy games, throw him under the bus, you know.
But it's not just,
coach
you know, it's-
this, that.
I mean, let's put it this way. I mean, you have Baker Mayfield, you have Beckham Jr. now, who not too familiar with the Browns staff per se, but you got some good young talent, right? And they started blossoming really well last year at the end of the season. They were coming together as a team, but they can't do it all on their shoulders alone. I mean, you have to. I mean, and to throw back to LeBron and the Cavs. Man, there were days that guy just looked exhausted. I mean, it takes a toll on you, you know, carrying the team. You have a lot of weight on your shoulders, and unfortunately, those who carry the team when things don't go right are the ones who also carry the blame.
You're exactly right. Exactly
You
right
know,
there.
so it's a very big symphony of things that need to be taking place and orchestrated at the right time. So, speaking of, did you guys do the kudos to the men's basketball team?
We did.
Good.
Men's and
Very
women's.
good.
Men's and women's.
About
They're
10
both-
minutes, not
Yeah.
quite 10 minutes ago.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Both the men and women's team had an outstanding
As an
finish up.
AD, I'm sure
Yep.
you are over the moon.
It was great. It was great to see. It's very good for the kids, good for the program.
Sure.
Good for the college. So yeah, it's congratulations to them. Congratulations to the coaches and everything. It's a good year.
And they played
Good year.
tough.
They did.
They
They
played
did.
tough.
Both the men and women did awesome, and the men obviously make it to nationals.
Yeah.
Good job. They did a
My
really good
goal
job.
next year, because this year is already ramping up. This, guys, it's just stuff gets busy right now for us institutionally. So, but my goal next year is to make it to at least one sporting event of each sport.
That's a good goal. That's a good goal.
That's a goal.
This is almost like last year.
Except
all
for maybe
over again.
golf. I don't know if I want to follow them on the links. I
Well,
might
actually,
have to. I might
you
be forced to
can't.
carry somebody's bag
yeah,
for them.
Yeah, actually, you can't do that.
Okay.
You can see them tee off and then
That's
come
it.
back in 4 or 5 hours and see them come in.
All right.
You know,
all right.
yeah.
Well, maybe I'll just be at the turn having
There
a
you
hot
go.
dog or something.
There you go. There you go. I can let you know when it is this year.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely want to be there and support, and
Right.
Things get busy, and
Yep.
You know.
It's tough. It's tough. Now, we were talking earlier. Apparently, Jeremiah was sharing you guys had a double down wager here or something about something being dressed on Monday or what have you.
yeah, what was it though? I remember talking to you about something. I don't remember.
Scarlet and Gray?
You mean the jersey?
Yeah.
Oh man, that's old news. I'll get to that. soon.
He was saying earlier on the air that
I got a lot swimming around in my head right now. So.
About the president's coffee.
yeah, he said
Yeah,
that,
well, that
he said
was-
you guys bet a pizza on it.
I don't know about that.
I'm just
Oh
sharing
my
what he,
God.
I don't
sharing
even,
what
I
he
don't
said
even think it
earlier.
was a double down. I think it was just one of those. Well, since I missed out on it, like right after the Ohio State Michigan game, what better forum, I guess, to wear it at? I guess, in, the president's guy, because in the course of my day, I mean, a lot of times we're stuck behind our desks, and
Right.
the efficacy of wearing the OSU jersey is not going to have the same impact unless I'm going somewhere. Out and about where masses are. Maybe we'll do. You know what? And I apologize because this just did fall through the cracks this year. And I know I probably talked a good game with I'll wear it, and I never did yet.
Yeah. Especially that.
But maybe we
you
could come
know,
up with something huge for next year. Maybe
That
a
good-
double or nothing, or I don't know what.
I'm just telling you that he's indicating earlier.
Now he's still riding that wave, and good for him.
No, I'm just telling you. He said earlier here on the show
Yeah.
that you didn't wear it on Monday, and so as a result, you owe him a pizza. That's what I understood.
What Monday?
Because was it the pressing coffee?
No, it was just a
Monday?
town hall.
Oh.
I'm
Well, you
just
said the
hearing-
Marge President's coffee.
Yeah, but that wasn't a coffee. That was a
When
town
was-
hall. I
or
don't
when
know.
is the
I don't think we have
president's
one.
coffee?
I don't know.
I
Maybe
don't
the
know.
next one. Maybe the
Someone
next
said
one.
it was the president's coffee on Monday.
We have a lot of
I
town
wasn't
halls
here
lately.
Monday, so I
Yeah,
couldn't respond to that.
There's a lot of town halls lately. It's been so busy. In fact, it's so busy today. There's so much going on campus.
There's a lot going on today.
Yeah.
You got the STEM truck, the U.S. Army STEM truck that is
Yep.
parked in the
I
central
didn't
lot
realize
outside
that
the
till last
AFC.
night.
Yep.
That was yesterday and today at
Yep.
11 o'clock Connect Fest in the library for 2 hours.
Yep.
We have coffee with the cops at noon in the, I want to say CLI.
Yep.
This one, I don't want to say is, it's pretty important.
What's the topic?
It's an active shooter presentation.
Oh, okay.
We
Yep.
like to, after the hoax incident on the 28th, we wanted it. We can't beat this drum enough about being prepared. So we kind of we put whatever the topic was originally on the
Push
back
back.
burner,
Right.
and inserted this.
Yeah.
So a lot of important events going on, especially today. There's 3 right there. So definitely, if you're looking for something to do on campus, make your way down to the AFC. I know there's tables and
Yep.
set up promoting the STEM courses.
The blood
and-
drive was yesterday. Is that
Yeah.
again today?
I don't know.
Usually it's
I don't
2 days,
know.
but
Let's see.
I know it was.
what
I
else
gave
we
blood
got
yesterday, so
today?
I was able to
I
step
can't.
up.
I can't.
You're the
'Cause I give
platelet guy.
I give plasma twice a
plasma,
week now,
okay.
so I can't give blood.
Okay.
But
What else
yeah,
is-
definitely head on down. Definitely check it out. I heard the trailer, the trailer, the U.S. Army trailer is really cool. It's set up into different segments to,
Okay.
of the STEM, whether it's sciences, engineering, math.
Right,
So
right.
it's kind of a
And what's
win-win.
that?
Yeah, it's a win.
What, 2 years ago or a year
It,
ago?
yeah, it
Something
came in a
like
couple
that.
years ago. It's definitely a win-win. Obviously, the Army uses it as a recruiting
Sure.
tool.
Sure.
And the Student Veterans of America, who coordinated all of this, also see it as a benefit to Lakeland.
Right.
Because, if somebody were to choose to go into the Army, into the STEM areas, coming out of the Army with GI Bill, they can come to Lakeland and get their degree
Right.
and further their career. So, but like I said, Coffee with the Cops at noon, Connect Fest in the library. Something coming up in the next weekend is our RAD class. I know I brought it
Yeah.
up the last time I was in here, which was months ago.
Four scores and many months ago.
It's a rape, aggression, defense class that our certified instructors in the police department put on for ladies only. So if you are a minor, though, we still do need a parental sign-off sheet to be able to participate. But it's not a problem if you're 15, 16, 17. To take part in it. So if you have any questions about that, please stop down to the campus police department or give us a call, 525-7241. But still a couple open slots.
Very good. This weekend we have our baseball team will be hosting Clark State Community College. They're supposed to play a doubleheader on Friday and Saturday. However, we're calling for rain on Friday, rain on
Muddy
Saturday,
fields.
and Sunday is supposed to be 35 as a high. So I'm not
Good baseball weather.
So I'm not sure how that's going to shake out yet. So I would encourage you to check out the website. There'll be updates on that as far as
Most of their games
cancellation.
recently have been south, right? Like Southern Ohio.
Yeah, we've been traveling all over the
Yeah.
place. Yeah, it's very difficult to do that and play well. It's just you drive 3 or 4 hours, get off, and you play. And you're
Well, not only that, we have a very short season this time of year.
Yes,
the
we do.
school
Yeah.
year doesn't help us out in that regard.
That's correct.
It doesn't allow for
That's
things
correct.
to warm up, and
That's correct. Next week, supposed to be a little warmer on Monday, Tuesday. It's supposed to be in, I believe, the high of 40s Monday, Tuesday, and not raining. And softball will be home on Monday, Tuesday next week if everything holds well from the weather perspective. So, come out and check them out. Both teams will be getting at it, so go check them out. It'll be good. So,
And are they next year? They're benefactors to the Under Armour garb.
money permitting, and
Sure.
make sure everything works
Okay.
out from a financial perspective. Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Cool.
But we're baseball is be the next team that we're trying to tackle from that perspective.
Very
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah, softball has already been hit.
Yeah.
So they're good shape. But
Oh, they're already geared up.
Yep, softball's there. So baseball's our next one.
Cool.
As we can work through the process. So
It's
Your
exciting.
roundabout circle.
It's exciting.
yeah, it's we're chipping away at it, chipping away.
Cool.
So it's definitely a good thing for them. So
Very
yeah.
cool.
Yep, very good.
Not including you have the health programs open house and job fair tomorrow.
Okay.
Now that's tomorrow
Nice.
over in H building.
Yeah.
All right. So make sure you guys get over there and check that out. Health fair, job fair. I gotta like that. So, good. Anything else going on, gentlemen?
No,
No,
just busy. I mean,
It's been great.
May 11th is the finish line.
Yes, yes.
A lot of things commencement going on. So,
I know it's that speed up time,
Yep.
especially with the musicians
Yep.
starting next.
I
week.
do want to give Jeremiah some props. Much like I follow Lakeland Athletics on Facebook.
He follows
the
Michigan.
gallery.
He follows Michigan State.
No, probably not. But he's really stepped up and taken on a role the past 6 to 8 months, maybe a year
What?
with Mary and the Art Gallery.
No, that's what, end of October.
No. Okay, so 6 months, 8 months.
Yeah.
He's done a really fantastic job over there with the renovation, the continued renovation that's planned,
Nice.
posting of events, photographs. I think
Well, now
you're doing a great job in
They
getting.
even Instagram too.
Okay, well, I don't do Instagram.
I'll
or
put
Twitter
it
or
out
anything,
there since
but-
it's a perfect plug of following that.
No, I think you're doing a really
You're
good
doing a
job
good
with
job,
it.
man.
I think
That's awesome.
I think you're highlighting it in a fashion that has never been done before, and I credit you with some of the successes that it's had in the past year.
Oh, that's good.
Not
man.
including your rad thing. I have that posting off of our page.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I saw. I appreciate it. I appreciate
Good for
it.
you, man. That's a compliment.
It is.
I know.
It is. Does that get me out of a jersey?
Did that have to
No, I almost want to drop dead just for one
you didn't,
reason.
You didn't
Wait,
choke
he
or
actually-
anything coming up with that.
Came out very eloquently.
It had nothing to say, you've been here for 4 scores or many years, or like, all that. Oh my God, I almost would
I
have
know.
dropped dead on that.
Well,
Came back and complimented you right
know.
away. See,
I
and,
know.
and now you, and now you have it for
Change.
historical posterity, recorded forever in the annals of Lakeland Lake Effect.
I
Radio.
just had to replay that like every time he goes and
He's
knocks
gonna set that as
something
like, my
out.
ringtone.
I know.
Whenever you feel blue, you should play that.
That's right. That's
That'll-
right.
that'll-
After all, the many more,
That's
down
right.
plays and that
That's
down
right.
the road.
Yuck it up because it won't happen now. But you do a
literally.
very good job. You do a very
Excellent.
good job.
Excellent. Now, I will not be here next week. I got to go down to Virginia. I'm at a meetings all next week off campus for the NJCA.
Gonna
So,
make a jaunt over to the VOTEC.
actually, I'm not going to go to Virginia Tech. I'm actually thinking about trying to meet up with my son and daughter that night, Friday night when it ends, and we're talking about possibly going to Philadelphia to watch the Phillies play.
Nice.
I really wanted to on Saturday go to Baltimore and watch the Orioles because they host the Stanks.
Right.
But my daughter's got to work and my son's got I think a Relay for Life program going on
Yeah.
and stuff. So it's looking like Friday night might be the only night we catch it. So
I was thinking about you the other night.
Okay.
I don't even remember where I was, but I was glued to the TV. They had NCAA men's wrestling.
Oh, okay.
And
yeah.
one of them was obviously Virginia Tech guys.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
obviously, anytime I see Virginia Tech, I associate with you.
Yeah.
So
They're very strong in wrestling. Very,
Yeah.
very strong in wrestling.
it seemed like them and Penn State were
Yep.
had the most athletes
Right.
in the tournament.
Yeah,
that they had
both
going on.
programs are very good.
Right.
So that's awesome. That's really awesome. But yeah, so we were talking earlier about Michigan State still in the NCAA basketball tournament. I don't know if you followed that at all. Or
I have been, not as much as prior years, but going into it, I had a very good feeling that Michigan would make it to the Sweet 16. After that, not so sure.
Right.
I know they got Florida State.
Yep.
Might be a challenge, but I think we can take. I think we can get to the Elite Eight. Is it Elite Eight or Grade 8? I mean, I know they changed.
Elite.
Yeah.
Okay, it used to be
thought-
Grade 8,
Yeah,
but they
I think
changed
it's
to
Elite.
Elite 8.
It's
Okay.
elite.
But I think we could easily make it to Elite 8. After that,
Right.
I have no prediction or no expectation.
Yeah.
Still love my team, but I'm also a realist.
Well, they would play the winner of Virginia Tech.
Ohio
and
State make it?
They made the tournament.
Oh, that's right. They did.
They made the
did.
tournament.
Well,
I'm not
See,
talking the
it
NIT.
didn't take that long.
And I'm not talking
Wait,
the NIT either.
Oh, yeah, that's right. They're not in it anymore.
See, it didn't take that long.
Well, we're back to normal now. But the if Michigan wins, they'll play the winner of I believe they play the winner of Duke and Virginia Tech actually.
But it
So
could be
it's-
worse. Last time they played a Florida team, it didn't go really well.
You're right. It didn't. It didn't. That was the
A few
first time
months ago.
Florida Gators ever beat Michigan. So,
All right. Well,
yeah.
time will tell. We'll find out Thursday,
See?
right? Thursday or Friday, we find this out.
He
So,
sort of just hook, line, and sinkered that.
Right.
all
Or
right,
you
gents,
just set yourself
I got to
up
hit the high
one or
road.
the
I hope
other.
you all
Yes,
have a
yes.
good 2 weeks. I'll be out next week, so have a good 2 weeks.
Visit
And,
the STEM trailer. Noon in the library. Connect Fest.
11.
And I'm sorry, 11 in the
Fest.
library Connect Fest. It's going on for 2 hours
Right.
from 11 to 1.
Check out your
and then also
baseball,
coffee with
softball.
the cops in
baseball,
the CLI.
softball this weekend.
I gotta go
Baseball,
there.
softball.
Yep.
So definitely hit up the Lakeland webpage for a list of events.
Absolutely.
Oh, Armageddon on Friday.
Armageddon, baby.
Yeah, 6:30 down in the Hive on Friday. I forgot about that.
What is that?
Poetry, open mic, you
Okay.
know, all that stuff.
Open mic, you going to go down and talk or sing, or what are you going to do?
No, we have a few musicians actually going
Okay.
down to
I
that.
saw Cleveland Gary Lee made an appearance the other day.
Nice.
Yeah.
He was actually in the booth last semester when you were gone.
Okay.
So very, very talented man who can
He'll be
pretty
up
much
here
come up
next
with
week
a
again.
jingle like that.
Really? That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Was it next week or the week after? One of that. He'll be back up here again.
Yeah. And ladies and gentlemen, do not forget, May 11th might be commencement, but the evening of May 11th is Lakeland Rocks.
That's
So
And the 10th,
definitely mark that in your calendars. The night of commencement. It's Saturday, May 11th.
couple good
in
bands.
the tent.
Couple good
There's-
bands.
I think there's 3 bands. I think 2 or 3 bands. 2
I
bands.
believe. 2 bands.
But definitely food trucks,
Yep.
fun
Beverage.
food, beverages, adult beverages,
Yes.
kids, junior beverages. But it's a free event to attend. Lakeland Rocks. Let's get that tent packed for a good time.
All right.
That's true.
Bye, all. Go Lakers.